Welcome back to the Rundown Lab, where we break down and fact check the biggest health podcasts. We know your time is valuable, but when you can, we always recommend catching the full episode. Links are in the description. Fact check: Thomas DeLauer on gallbladder detoxification. What if I told you that one of the most popular health claims circulating online, that your gallbladder is the key to detoxifying your entire body, is built on a foundation that's only partially solid? Today, we're taking a closer look at a video from Thomas DeLauer titled, "The Most Powerful Way to Detoxify is Through the Gallbladder." Setting the stage. Thomas DeLauer is a well-known fitness and nutrition content creator with millions of followers. In this particular video, he makes roughly 20 distinct claims about bile, gallbladder function, detoxification, and various supplements and foods that supposedly support this system. After a thorough review, I found that while he gets the fundamentals mostly right, several claims venture into oversimplified or unsupported territory. Let's break it down. What he got right. Credit where it's due, DeLauer demonstrates solid foundational knowledge of basic anatomy and physiology. He correctly explains that the liver produces bile while the gallbladder stores and releases it. This is textbook accurate. The liver continuously makes about 500 to 1,000 milliliters of bile daily, and the gallbladder concentrates and holds it until it's needed. He's also right that bile acids help emulsify dietary fats and play a role in eliminating certain compounds from the body. His explanation of cholecystokinin, or CCK, triggering gallbladder contraction is essentially correct, even if he stumbles over the pronunciation. DeLauer accurately identifies that bitter taste receptors exist in the gut, not just on the tongue. These receptors do influence digestive processes, which is a genuinely interesting area of research. He's also correct that trimethylglycine, or betaine, is found in beets and functions as a methyl donor in the body. His dietary advice about eating small amounts of healthy fats to maintain gallbladder function is reasonable. Regular fat intake does stimulate gallbladder contraction, which helps prevent bile stasis, and that's sound guidance. Where it gets complicated. Now here's where we need to pump the brakes a bit. When DeLauer describes pectin from apples binding to bile and making it more effective, he's got the mechanism backwards. Pectin does bind bile acids, but this actually sequesters them and prevents their reabsorption. It doesn't enhance bile's effectiveness. It depletes the bile acid pool, forcing the liver to make more from cholesterol. That's actually why pectin has cholesterol-lowering effects. Not wrong in spirit, but mechanistically inverted. His description of bile acids breaking down fat-soluble toxins oversimplifies how detoxification actually works. The heavy lifting of detoxification happens in the liver, through what we call phase 1 and phase 2 metabolism. Bile's role is more about excreting compounds that have already been processed, not breaking them down directly. And many fat-soluble toxins are actually eliminated through urine after the liver conjugates them, not through bile at all. The claim that methylation is required for bile acid synthesis is a stretch. While methylation supports overall liver function and the synthesis of phosphatidylcholine, which is important for bile secretion, bile acid synthesis itself primarily involves converting cholesterol through specific enzymes. The connection DeLauer draws is indirect at best. He also suggests that when the liver is stressed, it prioritizes detoxification over bile production. In reality, liver disease impairs multiple functions simultaneously due to hepatocyte damage. It's not a conscious resource allocation decision by your liver. Red flags. A few claims require more serious correction. DeLauer states that milk thistle is hard on the liver and should only be taken for 2 to 4 weeks at a time because it acts as a hormetic stressor. This contradicts the predominant scientific literature. Silymarin, the active compound in milk thistle, has an excellent safety profile and is generally considered hepatoprotective, not hepatotoxic. Clinical trials have administered it for 6 to 12 months without liver damage. The established mechanisms are direct antioxidant and anti-inflammatory effects, not stress-induced adaptation. This framing could unnecessarily worry people who might benefit from milk thistle. He references a study supposedly published in the journal Biomarkers involving 40 people and various milk thistle preparations. I searched PubMed thoroughly and could not verify this specific study exists as described. While milk thistle research does show antioxidant effects, citing unverifiable studies undermines credibility. Perhaps most concerning is the claim that microplastics can technically be broken down and sequester into bile acid for excretion. There is simply no scientific evidence supporting this. Microplastics are largely inert polymer particles. Bile acids emulsify dietary fats. They don't break down synthetic polymers. Research on microplastic fate in humans is still limited, but what we know suggests they either pass through unchanged or accumulate in tissues. This claim appears to be unfounded. The bottom line. Overall, this video demonstrates that DeLauer has done some homework on bile physiology and gallbladder function. The basic anatomy is correct, and some of his dietary recommendations are reasonable. However, when he ventures into mechanistic explanations, how things actually work at the cellular level, he frequently oversimplifies or mischaracterizes the science. The milk thistle hormetic stressor framing contradicts established research. One-sided study couldn't be verified, and the microplastics claim has no scientific support. If you're interested in supporting your digestive health, the general advice about eating bitter foods and maintaining regular fat intake isn't bad. But be cautious about the specific mechanisms and supplement protocols described here. As always, extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence, and some of these claims don't meet that bar.